What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Occults, Receivable. Anthony here with Teresa.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back on this wonderful Thursday night. Hope everyone's doing good. We are getting back into Paranormasight, the Seven Mysteries of Honjo. Last time we did the buddy cop story. I forget what his name was. It was like Tetsu something. Tetsuya something.
Tsutsu. There was a lot of tsus in his name.
Yeah, because isn't that like meant to be like hard boiled or like a hard sound? I don't know.
Tetsu is literally iron. Tetsu no Ryoriji.
Tetsuo. Here we go. Tetsuo Tatsumi. Yeah. That was his name.
Yep. Lots of tus.
Yeah.
Tsutsu. The perfect Lalafell cop.
What's up, Loop? All right.
Hi, Loop.
Excuse me. So we're continuing with Haruo Shigima's story, and there's some talk here that we're wondering, like, hey, there's some leads about what happened to her kid. None of them are good.
None of them are good. We have a name of another student, of a high school student, who might be related to our girl, Yako Warner. I don't think that's her last name.
No, it's Yakov Smirnoff.
Yakov Smirnoff. Yeah, that's right.
All right, well, let's continue with... Okay, nice thought. Summary of previous events. Despite having obtained the curse of the haunting clappers, Haruo Shigima is determined to use the rite of resurrection by stealing the remaining curse stones. She instructs her private investigator, Richter, to find the other curse bearers. Actually, before we get into this, I find this interesting because when we were Shogo was just straight up killing people for the curse stones. Until we broke the timeline, and then he got.
Well, okay, we were straight up killing people for the curse stones until we decided at one point, maybe not. And then
he did. Okay.
And then he did it.
But I have to wonder, if we didn't do that, would he also be killing them?
Yes.
So, Tetsuo is trying to collect them all.
He's got to catch them all.
Yeah.
He's a Poke Cop.
So he's trying to get them because he works for the ghost cops of Japan. And he doesn't want anyone to use the rite of resurrection. Haruo, it looks like she's investigating and she wants to steal them, but she wants to steal the soul dregs. So she's not willing to kill, it seems. Like, she started out as willing to kill, but our boy Richter talked her down. Because, like, she wanted him to cooperate with her, and he was like, nah. But she suggested an alternative, and he was like, okay, yeah, we can do that. Yeah, so, what I like about this is that not everyone's looking to just... This isn't a battle royale to get the rite of resurrection. They're all trying different things. But what I want to know is, are these overlapping timelines? Are certain events happening concurrently? Because the timeline suggests that, yes, they're happening concurrently, but in this instance, we haven't met Shogo yet.
Right.
And Shogo rolls up in, like, around here-ish, I think. For Tetsu, or Tetsu.
Yeah, for Tetsuo.
Yeah, like... But this is grayed out. We can't do anything with this yet.
Yeah, we need to see the other paths, I think, first.
Yeah. So let's finish off Haruo and then we get into Yako Warner.
Yakov Smirnoff.
Yakov Smirnoff. All right, let's do this. Haruo Shigima, 1 a.m. Shigima Mansion reception room.
My God.
Has she not even left her house yet?
Well, Richter told her to stay home.
Oh, that's true. Richter did say he was going to investigate, so...
Yeah, this is probably, like, whatever spurs her to go outside and get some fresh air and kill Shogo.
All right, this is you.
It's been almost an hour since Richter left. He promised he'd call me if anything happened.
Men never call me anymore.
It's because I'm still married. Maybe I should arrange an accident for my husband. That might liven things up. But Richter hasn't called.
And then cover that up. See how he likes it.
So, all I can do is wait. And wait. Just like when my son was kidnapped. And my father and my husband didn't do a goddamn thing about it.
And so then I tried to do it myself. And then they told me no. And then look how that ended up.
Yep. And now my son is dead.
Men are stupid.
It's true. Yep. The flowers put me at ease, a little. That old hanging scroll. I've seen it too often to feel anything from it now.
I'm getting the feeling you don't feel much of anything from anything.
I think she's dead inside.
Oh, yeah.
I'm waiting for Richter to contact me. He hasn't. It's only been an hour, but you never know. It's a fax machine. I rarely find a use for it. I don't know anybody else who owns one. And in the next 5 years, you won't.
Ooh, what's...
The ticking seems so loud. It just goes to show how quiet it is.
Go to bed.
What's this? A newspaper. It must have fallen off the chair.
Sure, I'm bored. Let's read it.
Yeah, it's a newspaper. I only leave them in here for the guests. I hardly ever read them myself. I don't think I've taken the time to go over one in years, in fact. Well, it's not like I have anything better to do now. Damn.
Oh, hell yeah, the society articles.
It looks like the city's biggest problem right now is pollution. Damn! If only. I remember how the air and water used to be even more polluted.
Do you remember in the 90s how the big thing was, like, don't use aerosol cans?
Yeah,
remember
because it was destroying the ozone layer.
Ozone layer. And I feel like that hasn't changed. Like, we're still using aerosol cans.
We are, but I think other measures have been put into place, and the ozone layer has actually fixed itself.
Yeah.
You never hear about like acid rain anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
For example.
It's just now everything's on fire.
Yes.
But yeah, the ozone's fine. We fixed the ozone. We just, you know.
Oh, they changed the chemicals in the cans, according to Hillary.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Cool.
I remember that was such a huge thing in the 90s. Just like, aerosol cans are bad. Don't buy them. The ozone layer's dying. The sun's going to cook us. And then we're like, okay, we fixed it. But, you know, then we just fucked up everything else.
Yep.
What's up, Nix? What's up, Nix?
The river was covered in scum from all the sewage and industrial waste, and it stank so badly it'd make my eyes water. Yeah, that's not actually that long in the past, like 60s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
All over the industrialized world, that was an issue.
Oh, the pollution?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why we got Captain Planet in the 90s.
Eventually, people started getting sick, and it couldn't be ignored anymore. Fortunately, it's gotten better since then.
I didn't realize that Japan, Sumida City shared a river with Cleveland.
Maybe they're sister cities, you know?
Oh my god.
Know. Although the air around the industrial district is still filthy with gas and smog.
Oh, I want to keep reading. There's interesting stuff in here.
If there's one thing Honjo never wants for, it's horrific crimes. They found a police officer dead in a local park just the other day. A lot of my family are in the police. I hope it wasn't anybody I knew. I don't read the news anymore, not since last year. It brings back bad memories. And we're gonna make you keep reading the news.
Yeah, there's
Buckle
more.
in,
I want to read all of this.
Suicide at local high school. Oh, I remember that. A high school girl jumped off a roof about a week ago. She was bullied, I think. Or maybe it was something about exam pressure. Why not both?
Yeah, I was gonna say, why not both? That sure sounds like that's just a Venn diagram. That's just a circle.
Yeah.
Huh?
Ellipses exclamation? Huh? What? But... No, this can't be right. Her name. Oh my god, that sting.
Yeah.
Michio Shiraishi from Nagata High School. It can't be. Oh, right, this was the thing that I was wondering last week is because, like, didn't Michio die? She was one of the two girls that the Kuwabara guy was trying to help.
Yes.
But she died.
Yes.
And then we learned from Richter that it was
She was
possible that a
involved.
girl... Yeah, Michio was involved in Harue's son's kidnapping.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're not going to look at that anymore. Now we're moving on to economy.
Yep. All sorts of articles about the current state of the economy. Not that the post-war boom has passed its peak. Oh, now that the post-war boom has passed its peak, we're moving into the era of large corporations.
Wah, 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 wah.
Okay, but see, the thing is, it's 1987 Japan.
Uh-huh.
Ronald Reagan may be president.
Uh-huh.
But he doesn't have that much effect on Japan.
No, no, he does not.
It's about 220, 230 yen to the dollar. Oh my god, that's insane.
That's incredible.
That's really good. Manufacturing is on the rise and exports are healthy. The dollar is down from its height, and people are saying it could fall further.
Chortles in poverty.
There's no denying how much the standard of living has improved in the past few years.
God, this is... Keep twisting the knife, motherfucker!
I know, right? It's common to own a car and television now, and supermarkets are better stocked than ever. Yeah, forget the ghosts. This is the real horror.
Watching anything, like watching or playing or reading anything that was like in the 80s and everyone's talking about how great life is, it's just like, that's just... Oh boy, it hurts. It hurts my soul.
Yeah, well, I'm still remembering how fucking Shogo was pontificating on how, you know, he was going to have a nice, comfortable, cozy, steady job that paid him a very adequate living wage, and he would have a nice, comfortable, cozy, steady life with, you know, a house and a wife, and he'd be able to raise some kids and just, you know, have that millennial dream that was ripped away from the millennials.
Man, the millennial dream is just exist. That's it. We just want to exist somewhere.
I just want a livable income.
Yeah, that's it.
Like,
we just want to exist.
When I was a kid, I wanted to travel the fucking world. I wanted to just like make all the money. I was gonna be like super like, successful and independent. And now I'm just like, God, if just a living wage, just enough that I can be comfortable.
Yeah,
but
man.
No.
I would settle for that.
Right. Although with everyone flocking to the city, land prices are skyrocketing. Nowadays, most people can only dream of home ownership. That sounds false. That sounds wrong. That sounds incorrect. I like how we went on this whole tangent, and then I read this line, and it's like, well, time for more tangents. The city center is going to be nothing but apartments before long. I think that's true.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly a businesswoman, so this all feels like another world to me.
Let's look at culture.
Culture! Well, I think owning houses in Japan is insane depending on where they are. I have heard that, like, out in the fucking boonies and the sticks, you can get a really nice house for dirt cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're trying to get a house in like an urban area, it's next to impossible.
Yeah, that's where it's the problem.
But if you feel like living on a mountain in the middle of nowhere with the curses and the oni, then yeah, you're fine.
I mean, just like, you know, leave out the offerings and do the required rituals, and they'll leave you alone.
Yeah, man. Like, I would be fine with that. I'd live on the top of a mountain as long as I could get like my groceries somewhere, like somehow.
Yeah.
Shit, man.
Yeah.
I'd live in the woods with the demons.
Yeah, that'd be fine. You know, I mind my business, they mind their business.
Yeah.
It's all cool. Now that everyone has more spending money to go around, people are coming up with all kinds of new diversions. It seems like only yesterday that people were flocking to the arcades to shoot aliens.
Bring back arcades.
But now we have these enormous theme parks and gaming machines that plug straight into our televisions. Ooh,
oh, the Nintendos! The Nintendos with their beep boops!
Everyone's talking about superhero series, foreign films, and movies based on the latest bestseller. Back in my day, fusion rock and folk music was all the rage. How old are you, Haruo? You're like... You can't be much older than 30.
Yeah, I was gonna say, she's gotta be in her 30s. So, yeah, that would put her...
She's like us. She's starting to feel her age. She was born old. Yeah, you're right, Sakura.
She is an old soul.
But now it's all about city pop and idols.
That's not going away.
Nope. I find it hard to care about that sort of thing anymore. Yeah, that seems correct. Before we read more articles, can we think? Because I'm wondering if she has something thoughtful to say about the Michio.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Yep, there we go. Michio Shiraishi, the same girl who witnessed my son's kidnapping, committed suicide last week. But that means Mr. Jonochi was terrified of someone who already died? Oh, is that what he meant by a curse? I can't work this out on my own. Maybe Richter will know.
I'm just a woman. I can't think.
Why won't he call? Oh, I haven't left it off the hook, have I? Why would you do that?
All right, more articles.
More newspaper.
This is a fascinating look into Japan in the 80s.
Yeah. I hear the new big thing is some mascot line of delinquent birds. Mockingbirds, I think it's called. Yeah, Richter just told you about them. You have one on your wall over there. Was that what Richter was talking about? Yes, it was. Trends seem to have such short shelf lives now, with how quickly the times are changing.
Ma'am, let me tell you a little something about memes. If you think trends are fast-moving, wait till you see memes.
Oh, man. Well, she's got like 20 years to go still. I think I'm just too old to keep up anymore. It's young people who are leading the way with their modern worldviews. My generation will only fall further behind.
With their TikToks and their...
Yeah, no, I mean, like, Gen X has basically just been erased.
Yeah.
Baby boomers love complaining about millennials, and now Gen Z and Alpha, I guess.
Isn't the next Gen after Gen Alpha, it's supposed to be like Gen Beta or something?
If it's not that, it was something else that was really unfortunate.
Like, I think we're getting to the point now where we're going to start seeing the Gen after Gen Alpha get born. I remember seeing an article on that.
Mm-hmm. Everyone attends high school now, even girls. Universal education policy, they call it. The country's gotten rich enough that every child can go to school. And, not to get political or anything, but everyone benefits from a well-educated workforce.
I mean, yes. I have no rebuttal here, and I don't have it in me to play devil's advocate. I just don't. I can't. I don't want to pretend to be that asshole. You're right.
Education is the backbone of modern society. If you want to work for a good company, you have to get into a good university.
Like, I don't even want to do the bit. It just makes me mad.
That's okay. We're wasting enough time. With more people in the running than ever, the competition to get into those universities has gotten fierce, though.
This is
good thing I'm too old to go to college.
This sucks. The competition to get into the universities in Japan is rough.
Yeah, it is rough. The new generation is rebelling. Schoolyard violence and delinquency are on the rise. And soon it will be time for Yu Yu Hakusho. But my boy was too sensible to get mixed up in any of that. I think. I don't want to read anymore. It'll only remind me of him.
We're gonna read more!
We're gonna read more!
Television!
Tell us all about the TVs. I don't really watch much television. It feels as if all the information in the world gets passed through that little black box. But Father stopped them from reporting on the kidnapping back when it happened. I was glad about that. Less fuss.
We're not done!
Now the comedy boom is over. All the comedians are flocking to other genres. What? Comedy's dead?
Yep.
The occult seems really popular at the moment. Look at all these paranormal specials.
Let's bring this genre back. Let's get back into the weird, creepy urban legend shit.
Did we ever get out of the weird, creepy urban legend shit?
It just migrated to really weird corners of the internet. Like, I want it to be more mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's look at the phone now.
Make sure it's not off the hook.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Richter to contact me, but he hasn't. He's been gone for 5 minutes. I don't understand. I've made sure the receiver is on the hook. It'll ring as soon as he calls.
Man, remember when that was a thing, when you were expecting a call and you had to make sure the receiver was on? Like, you looked at the actual phone and like, oh yeah, it's actually hung up?
Not really, because...
Really?
all the phones that my parents have ever had, like, if they're off the hook for long enough, they start shrieking.
Oh, okay. No,
like they would make a really loud, obnoxious noise to let you know, hey, I haven't been replaced properly.
When I was a kid, a couple of the phones in the house were old enough that sometimes if we were expecting a call, we'd have to make sure that the phones were actually on the hook.
Oh, how funny. Well, no, I take that back slightly because my parents do still have this rotary phone, and I believe it is still hooked up and it still works.
Wait, no, bullshit.
The rotary phones. I will send you a photo after we're done streaming.
Oh, please.
Wait, no. Maybe it's not. I'm thinking about it now. It would be in my parents' room, but like, when was the last time I looked in there? I don't know. I'll have to go look.
All right, yeah. Let me know, because the last time I saw a rotary phone was at my grandmother's.
I grew up with one in the house.
That's crazy.
Whether or not it's still in the house is a question. But...
Okay.
Ah, the phone. It's ringing, just like I thought. That must be him. It's a good thing I made sure the receiver was on the hook.
Do nothing.
Just let it keep ringing. You don't want to look desperate. Hello, Shigima residence.
Her eyes really fuck with me. They're just a little too realistic.
She's just got the bags under them.
Yeah, but with the way that it's drawn, they look like very real.
Yeah.
Oh, God, Richter.
There he is, that beautiful man. Richter called me out to meet him, and we came here to Komagata Bridge. He's so handsome and brooding. Richter, there's something I need to tell you.
Funny. I was just thinking the same thing.
So we're just going to stand here silently until one of us speaks, but then we're both going to speak at once. And then we'll laugh it off awkwardly. And then I'll insist you go first, and you'll insist I go first. And we'll go around like that for a little while before one of us actually says what we came here to say.
You have so much hair. There's just so much hair there.
We're on Komagata Bridge over the Sumida River. There's a highway on one side and a freeway on the other, but they're both deserted this late at night.
I don't think it's homophobic to say that Richter's gay. He's either gay or he's fucking fabulous.
Could be both.
He could be both.
He could be bi.
That man uses a lot of product on his hair. There's no way that hair is natural.
Yeah, no, he's very queer-coded, for sure.
Ooh, updates.
Ooh.
Komagata Bridge. One of the bridges spanning the Sumida River, completed in 1927 as part of the reconstruction effort following the Great Kanto earthquake. It is notable both for its distinctive blue arches and the cutting edge for the time techniques used in its construction. There are many bridges stretching across the Sumida River, each boasting a unique structural form and design. Huh.
I mean, you're not special, Sumida River. We've got different cool-looking bridges in Portland.
Yeah.
Over the Willamette. The Sumida River. The water is filthy and horrid, but at night, when it's still, it looks almost peaceful.
Can I ask you something, man? Ooh. Is the Sumida River what you Honjo folks picture when you think of home?
I couldn't say. I'm from out of town. All I can tell you is that I can hardly stand the sight of it. ...
Right. Shoulda guessed.
Tiny refresher for our audience. Her son's body was found in the Sumida River, so that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, ha! There we go. We're getting some exposition.
Yeah.
This was where they found him after he went missing. All alone, floating in that horrible water.
I feel like he brought us here for a reason. This is a very specific place.
Mm-hmm. All I can think is how scared he must have been. How cold he must have been. What did he ever do to deserve something so awful? I've come here every day since then. And I prayed to the river to give him back. To give me back my son. Day after day after day.
You know, In olden times, people believed rivers marked where our world met the next. So the act of crossing flowing water had a huge amount of spiritual significance. Back when Edo was founded, the people of Chuo saw the Sumida River the same way. They associated the far path of the river with the afterlife. That same place would later become Honjo. All the fear and revulsion accumulated there and took root. But then the Ryogoku Bridge sprang up after the Great Fire of Meireki, and just like that, Honjo was part of the city too.
Loop.
And as it turned from farmland into a town, the people surrounded it with man-made rivers and crisscrossed it with canals and waterways.
Weren't those to prevent flooding? That's what I was told.
They were, but that's not all they were for. Their other purpose was to contain all the corruption that had built up on the far shore, and stop it leaking through to our side of the Great Divide. Officially, they were a physical barrier, but unofficially, they were a spiritual one too.
So, if I have this right, are you saying that Honjo is a place where the real world meets the afterlife?
Is the Sumida River the river Styx, essentially?
Could be.
Exactly. That's why the Rite of Resurrection is here, rather than anywhere else. I'm sure of it. And it's probably why the Seven Mysteries and their curses have survived to the modern day. And I guess that would make this spot we're standing now, right over the water, the border between life and death. If there ever was a place where bringing back the dead might be possible, I reckon it's here. It's funny that you mentioned praying to the river. That might have done more than you think.
Is that supposed to make me feel better?
Just thinking aloud, ma'am.
Well, it's a nice thought. Ooh.
The Sumida River, a Class A river that is part of the Arakawa River system, which runs through much of eastern Tokyo and empties into Tokyo Bay. During the Edo period, Sumida's riverbanks played a key role in the transportation of lumber used for construction. In addition to its logistical importance, it was also a place for the common folk to gather and enjoy activities, such as seasonal flower viewing or river bathing, and there exist many woodblock prints depicting such activities. The area became plagued with sewage issues when the surrounding environs were industrialized in the post-war period, but the situation has improved since. Many unique bridges span the Sumida River, including the Ryogoku and Azumabashi bridges, which attract a large number of visitors as sightseeing spots. Massive fireworks displays in the summer are also always sure to draw a crowd. The river has served as a cornerstone for both the city and its people, having both aided in its development and serving as an inspiring backdrop for countless works of art and literature. Just like my Japanese animes.
Oh my god, just like my Japanese animes.
Oh, we got another thing for Sumida River.
Oh, that's right. There's one more memory I have of this river. Do you mind if I tell you?
Do I have a choice? Go ahead.
It must have been about 20 years now, when I was still a schoolgirl. Back then, the Sumida River was much filthier than it is now. It was full of garbage and industrial discharge. It was scummy and slimy, and it stank.
The 3 S's, damn.
Yeah. You could look out over the water and see dead cats and dogs and pigeons just floating.
Ugh.
And one day, among all the filth and garbage, there was a piece of my missing classmate's hand.
What? You can't just...
I remember...
What?
I remember that.
What was... I don't remember anything about her classmate.
Not her classmate, but I remember they found like part of a hand.
That's right. Okay.
Okay, so it was her classmate.
Okay.
Interesting. It's all connected.
The missing hand, didn't Yoko mention that? I think it was Yoko.
You may have.
Okay. What?
It was almost a miracle when you stop to think about it. What were the chances that someone would find a part of her that was still recognizable? And that, although everything but the palm had rotted away in the water, the part that was left would have an identifiable scar. And that they could tell it had been a murder from the blade marks on the bone.
Oh, wait, her classmate was that one person that the shopkeep caught, remember? There was that fight.
That's right.
He brought her into her shop and like dismembered her like bit by bit.
Yeah, that really, really intensely descriptive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay, so that was her classmate.
Right. Wait. Are you talking about the Nejima Murders?
Though you have heard of it, I'm impressed.
I would be remiss to say I'm sure there isn't a lot of people that haven't heard of it. Like that's not a murder that just kind of disappears.
Yeah, that's something that kind of sticks in the societal consciousness.
Yeah, that
it lives in the zeitgeist.
Yeah, that lives in the zeitgeist, and that's how you get other legends.
Yep. I assume you were but an elementary schooler at the time.
I wasn't really aware of it then. I only heard about it after the fact. I had no idea the victim was a classmate of yours. Oh! Oh, no!
Damn. Okay, so
he looks like a Lego person.
The portrait is very funny. But I'm a little annoyed here by, like, this is the first fat person we have seen, and naturally he was the evil, dismembering murderer man.
Yeah,
like,
no.
That's not great.
No, but like, what? Sir, where's your neck? Sir.
He's hiding it. It's shy.
The man who made headlines over 2 decades ago as the perpetrator of the brutal killings known as the Nejima Murders. Like, look at his eyes, man. This man, he's wearing a Nejima suit.
Oh God.
That's a demon. Yeah. That is a demon in a Nejima suit.
We've solved the mystery. Okay, well, we know that now.
Oh my God.
God. To be honest, it was all a bit of a blur.
Is one of the 7 Mysteries of Honjo, whatever the fuck that guy is?
A wave of chaos just parting around me.
I was not expecting that, man. I'm still reeling.
Something like that. They said the rest of her body must have sunk to the bottom of the river. They combed the riverbed, but they only ever found pieces. Everything else must have rotted and flowed out to sea. Afterwards, I heard that all the divers who had been looking for her fell ill.
A sorry story for everyone involved, huh? It's funny. Everyone figures the river's filthy already, so one more piece of garbage won't hurt. But every little bit makes it worse. It's a vicious cycle. I know I wouldn't want to go rooting around down there myself.
That's right, which is why the riverbed is the last place anybody would go looking. Or so was the killer's thinking, I suppose. The times were changing quickly back then. Things were confusing. Everyone seemed to be in a hurry. Young people were moving to Tokyo in droves. Some even ran away from home to make it in the big city. And they made easy targets for bad people. A lot of them ended up disappearing without a trace. You see, back then, if you chopped a body up into tiny pieces and threw it in the river, it would rot quickly and discreetly and sink to the bottom, never to be seen again.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
They arrested him shortly after, Fumichika Nejima, the man who killed my classmate and cut her into pieces. He was so methodical about it, it couldn't have been his first crime. And people began to wonder how many other girls he'd murdered the same way. The police never found any evidence of other murders in the end. But the river knows the truth. Oh, that's metal as fuck.
Yeah, that is.
How many corpses has it swallowed up over the years, I wonder? The same thought spread through everyone's mind, and they started to avoid this area. So really, this river has been rank with corruption for decades now. Or at least, that's how it seems to me. Well, was that interesting?
Just, it cuts to Richter and he's pulling away like mortified, like,
right?
Well, I can see why you don't have any good memories of this river. Fuck this river in particular.
Mm-hmm.
With all that darkness lurking beneath the surface, there's no reason that you would. Still, if I may, ma'am, I'm surprised you know so much about the Nejima Murders.
But how could I not? After all, I was the one who found the hand.
Nani?
Nani the fuck?
Nani desu ka?
The police actually wrote me a thank you letter. They said it was only thanks to me that they managed to bring Nejima to justice. That was the only time my father ever said he was proud of me. Damn!
Huh. I guess it wasn't the killer's day.
Sometimes I wonder if he resents me for it. So her dad wrote her a thank you letter. Sumida River. I have nothing but awful memories of it.
So there was a lot of lore there. Let's actually talk to Richter, find out why he even wants us here. Oh, let's ogle him a little bit first.
Yeah, he's gazing down at the water, cool as a cucumber.
Oh my god, you were right!
I fucking called it.
Alright, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
I don't care.
You go
Richter,
first.
go first. Please, go ahead. I like how we had like all of that environmental discussion before we get into the main part of this.
Alright then. I've been poking around places connected to the Seven Mysteries looking for curse bearers. And I think I found a few candidates. First, a tall man I ran into in Kinshibora Park. I asked him for directions, trying to probe him a little, but it turned the questions right back around on me. And he was out of there the second he figured I wasn't what he was looking for. I got the sense curses were nothing new to him. I'm about 40% sure he's a curse bearer. Then there's this middle-aged guy I saw on South Watagesu Street. There's no question about this one. He had one of the curse stones in his hand.
He's just walking around holding it.
He had a nervous air about him, too. It was clear he was up to some shady business. Gathering soul dregs, I'd bet. He'd make a good target. Next up is a pair. A young man and woman I saw around Ryogoku Bridge. Who's the woman?
That's a good question.
This time, the man came up to me and asked me flat out if I was a curse bearer. I told him I didn't know what he was talking about, and he backpedaled and left. Looks like they lurk around there often. Looking for kindred spirits would be my guess. Though it didn't seem like they were quite working as a pair. Gathering soul dregs in a group might be a decent idea if you can make it work. But with things being how they are, it's got to be hard to find folks one can trust. They got brass, though. I don't know what their deal is, but I'd like to find out. Last is 2 detectives I've seen sniffing around.
The police are involved?
Not necessarily. A body turned up in a local park a few days ago, so they might just be looking into that. Still, the park's got ties to one of the 7 mysteries. Might be it was a curse that did the guy in. And if they're sending in detectives from the head office, then something's got to be up.
How do you know where they're from?
Let's just say that when you're in this business, there are some faces you get to know.
One of them was my former classmate.
Anyway, that's everyone who's caught my eye.
You found all of them in so little time? I really did hire the best.
It's all the name, ma'am. Richter Kai, P.I.
It rhymes. Aww.
No.
Oh my god, JoJo pose.
No, wait. Make that Richter Kai, investigator extraordinaire.
An investigator extraordinaire. Is that why you can dress like that without drawing attention to yourself?
You bet. An investigator extraordinaire can blend in like a chameleon in any outfit.
Well, that aside, the middle-aged man and the young couple sound the most promising. Am I right?
Whichever we
Sorry.
pick, it's still too early to make a move. It seems like the curse bearers are less involved with each other than we thought. Plus, there's still others we don't know about. I say we hang fire and see how things play out. Once more bodies start showing up, that'll get the pot nice and hot. And once it's boiling, our chance will come.
There's something I need to tell you.
What's up?
Well, that girl, Michio Shiraishi.
The one who was with Shuichi on the day of the kidnapping?
That's her. Well, she's dead.
She's what?
The student who committed suicide last week, that was her.
I heard something like that had happened. Never got the name, though. Talk about bad luck. We finally get a lead, only to find it's turned into a literal dead end. Unless her death was the whole reason Janochi was so shaken up. He said she was gonna curse him. Was he talking about her taking revenge from beyond the grave?
It seems like we're back where we started.
Not necessarily. That teacher knows something, I'm sure of it. At the very least, I'd put money on him having something to do with Miss Shirashi's death. That's why he's so scared of being cursed by her.
I see.
And also, something tells me he knows more about your son's kidnapping.
Hmm?
In any case, I think I've got a good idea of what he's hiding. Call it a hunch.
A hunch?
Well, more of a theory. Care to take a guess? I want to try and take a guess.
Okay, let's guess. I can't say for certain, but...
Well, it's about him, so... With blackmail. What if Mr. Janochi silenced Michio Shirashi with blackmail?
What do you think?
Exactly my thinking. Janochi knew about Miss Shirashi's connection to the kidnapping, and he used that to blackmail her into doing his bidding. He made her feel so trapped she took her own life to escape. That's my read on it.
How despicable.
Well, it's just a theory. Right now, I think we need to have another chat with Mr. Jinochi.